Ashe, namaste. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. As usual, anybody interested in astrology readings, real astrology readings, tarot readings, learning how to detox, um, how to make money from home, and the hypnosis sessions, and also spiritual guidance and consultations. Anybody interested in those sessions? Um, Email me at occulthealing22@gmail.com. Also, the email's in the description of this video. Okay. Also, when you do purchase a session with me, and anybody else who's purchased a session with me, you also get access into my private Facebook group. So again, I'd like to thank you for coming in and getting this information. So first thing we're going to talk about today is the planet Mercury in astrology. Okay, because I went over the sun sign. Okay, I went over the moon sign, and now we're going to get into the Mercury sign. Okay, because most people are familiar with the sun sign, the moon sign, and even the rising sign. Okay, but now we're going to get into some other things that are very important as well. These other planets that people don't like to talk about that much. Okay, so what is Mercury in astrology in your astrological chart, in your birth chart? What does it represent? The first thing it represents is your intellect. Okay, it's the machine, the computer of your mind, how your mind works, how your mind is wired. Okay, it represents how you learn, how you process and take in information. Okay, it's also how in return give out that information. Okay, so it does represent communication as well, but it's something way deeper than that. People just like to call it the planet of communication, but again, it represents your intellect. It represents the left part of your brain, how you calculate things. Okay, how do you give that information once you received it? And another big part of it is that it represents how you express yourself, and how do people feel, what is the energy you give to people when you're expressing yourself. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So there's it's bigger than just the planet of communication. All right, it's really important to know, because if you know how your mind is wired, if you know how your mind works, what is the best way for you to learn, you can just go way farther in life. Okay, because a lot of times you're not understanding a topic because you're not learning it in the correct way. As we know, some people are hands-on learners, some people are visual learners, some people need to listen to it, some people need to read it, some people need to see somebody else doing it. You see what I'm saying? So your Mercury sign lets you know all these different things. All right. So what I'm going to get into is some of the elements, okay? Because we have these four elements. We have earth, water, air, and fire. All right. Now, of course, like I said, I can't get into specifics because you have to look at your whole chart, because I wouldn't be doing you justice if I give you specifics and it's incorrect. That's what all these other YouTubers are doing. They're saying, oh, this is what it means when Libra is in Mercury, and this is what it means for you. And that's absolutely correct, because that's not correct. You have to look at the whole entire chart. Just because you have Libra and Mercury, well, what degree? All right, in Mercury, what degree in Libra? Also, where's the Mercury at in your chart? What house and what degree in that house? You see, what's opposing it? What's conjuncting with it? You have to look at your whole entire chart. That's why I say, you guys, those of you who want your real chart read by somebody who's been doing this for 10 plus years now, contact me at occulthealing22@gmail.com. But I will break down the elements, because the elements are very, very important to understand. So let's just say, okay, you have, I'll just start with earth. Okay. See, the earth element on Mercury. Now, of course, this is going to pose a little bit of a problem besides Virgo, because Virgo is actually ruled by Mercury, so it's a little bit different. But the other two earth signs, like Capricorn and And Taurus are going to pose a little bit of a problem. And why? And this is because the Mercury isn't actually an air planet. It's very, very fast paced. It's all about connecting things, connecting people, connecting information. As we know, Earth is not really about that. Okay. Earth is about manifestation. Okay. Producing results. All right. Not thinking about the results and planning the results, is actually producing the action. Remember, Earth is the last stage. Earth is the manifestation of what you've been planning in the mind, you see. And then once you plan something in the mind, right? Well, here's how it goes. First, you get the spirit. You get all of a sudden you get some kind of impulse. Then you have the mind. Then you start to daydream about it. You start to plan it out. Then because you've been planning it out, your emotions move you. The water element moves you to take action. And again, the earth element represents that action. Okay, so now we're kind of out of placement here. Like I said, besides Virgo, because not only that though, but earth signs like to move a lot slower. Okay, it's all about patience. It's all about, because remember, when you're waiting for something to manifest, you have to be patient. So that's why earth signs are about patience. It's about, actually seeing something as well, actually being able to physically hold it, because it's about the manifestation of it. All right. So what happens here when you have an earth sign here, besides, Virgo still kind of represents this too, because it's still a very, very serious sign. Virgo is a very serious sign. It represents the dark side of Mercury. And Gemini represents the light side of Mercury. Okay. Gemini's a masculine sign, the light side. Virgo's a feminine sign, the dark side. You see, now this has nothing to do with if it's so-called positive and negative or good or evil. We're just talking about how energy works. Okay. So when you have an earth sign here, you're going to process. First of all, you're going to be more of a hands-on learner. Okay. And you're going to need to process information a little bit slower than other people, like somebody who has an earth or a fire sign on this planet. You see? So you're going to need to do things hands-on. Like when you get information, you're going to need to practice it. What are some different ways that you can actually get into it? Okay. What are some ways that you can actually, start implementing these topics right away? And this will help you learn it. You learn by experience. Okay. You learn by experience. And this is why it may seem that you learn a little bit slower than other people. It's nothing negative. It's just, again, you learn in a different way. You got to remember, this society automatically thinks everybody learns in one particular way. And this is why we have so many dropouts, and we have so many people who dislike school and go against school, is because the system's not built to service everyone. It's only built to service one specific group of people. All right. Now, as we know, everybody's different, so it's not going to play out like that. All right. So, again, earth sign Mercury people are going to be hands-on learners. Not only that, but when you're speaking, the energy that you give to somebody when you speak to them is going to be a lot slower. It's going to be more down to earth. That's that whole reason for somebody saying that they're more so down to earth. Okay. They're more so, the way that they communicate was solid. All right. It's not quick and witty. It might not be all about sarcasm. It's more like straightforward, straight to the point. All right. It's not really about playing games. It's not really about, speaking to as many people as you can possibly speak to. All right. It's about getting down to business. That's what the Mercury and Earth is all about. It's about getting down to the business. And this could be anything, even if it is something fun. It's like, all right, what are we doing? That's what it is. Okay. It's not about beating around the bush and stuff like that. Because, again, earth signs, they're more physical than mental. Okay. So what happens is you're bringing your intellect down to the body. All right. So again, a lot of the communication is not going to be through the verbal. It's going to be through body language. You see? So here's a number one. A lot of times you can tell when somebody has an Earth Mercury, because they communicate more through their body. And it's really, really hard for them to try to control that. So they become very, very easy to notice and to predict, because whatever they're thinking is going to show in their body. So if they're very, very upset, they're going to show really, really strong, body language of being upset. If they're really, really happy, vice versa. You see where I'm going with this. Okay. So again, but the mind is, like I said, the mind is to the body. So you need to learn hands-on. Okay. Now we'll get to water. All right. Because remember, Mercury is an air planet. So water is not going to be too good here either. All right. Because you're bringing emotions to the intellect. Emotions and intellect is like oil and water, like literally. It doesn't, it doesn't really go together, because the emotions can cloud your judgment. Okay. So with these individuals, the one good thing though, of course, is that, uh, the way that they communicate is going to be more on an emotional level. Okay, so they communicate with their emotions. They connect to others through their emotions. This is how they spread. This is how they connect the dots between people and events and even objects, through their emotions. Okay, so the problem is that with this is very, very unstable, because they can be an exceptional communicator when the emotions are stable. Now, when the emotions are unstable, this is when things can be a little bit crazy, right? It's unstable. So it's up here, it's up there, it's this way, it's that way. It all depends on your emotional stability. So if you have a water sign, if you have the water element on your Mercury, you have to be very, very aware of your emotional stability. Where are you at emotionally? All right, you need to take control of that. Let's just say you have to do a speech, or you have to speak in front of a whole bunch of people, or you have to go network or something. You have to take a couple deep breaths and realize, where are you at emotionally? Are you feeling some kind of way, or are you in a happy, and then you have to do what you have to do to try to change that, because you're not going to be at your full potential if you're in a negative emotion when you have a water sign and with the Mercury. Okay. Again, everything is going to be communicated through the emotions, because like I said, you're bringing the mind down to the emotions. Okay. So again, and like I said, you can use this as a good thing, because like I said, if you are a motivational speaker, right, and you have a lot of built up anger, you can be very, very passionate and put that anger into that speech. All right. But it's all about how you do it. It's all about controlling yourself, and it's all about learning from your mistakes as a communicator. Now, as a learner, a lot of times, um, a lot of times, water sign Mercury people need to learn in places that are comfortable for them. Now, what I mean by this, they have to feel safe. They have to feel like at home. Especially if they have like cancer there or something like that. A lot of times you need a space that feels like home for you to be at your full potential. And by the way, you got to remember that you can have straight A's in school and still not be at your full potential, because a lot of times when you leave school, right, you don't even remember 99% of what you learned in school. That's because you weren't at your full potential. So this is what I'm saying to you guys. In order for you to learn at your full potential and actually absorb something, all right, so you have to you have to connect with the teacher. You have to connect with. So a lot of times, um, even if you're watching somebody and you're learning from them, they have to move you emotionally for them to really put that message into you. All right. So you need somebody who's really, really passionate about what they do. And like I said, but you have to be comfortable too as well. Only reason why is because your emotions need to be stable. So if you're in an environment where it's kind of hectic, you're gonna again emulate that and be kind of and often be kind of become hectic as well. So again, it's all about the environment when you have water on Mercury. Is your environment calm? Because if it's not, then you're not going to be reaching your full potential. Is your teacher passionate? Or are you learning something that you're passionate about? Because if you're not, it's going to be really, really hard for you. Somebody with Earth on their Mercury, even if they don't like the topic, they could do the due diligence and really reach a new level with the topic, even if they don't really care about it, because they don't have to be passionate about it. But when you have water or fire here, you have to be passionate about the topic for you to be really interested. So water and fire people here, they're the kind of people that say, hey, if I'm not interested in it, I don't really like this. Even if they try, a lot of times they just, they'll either give up or they'll cause a lot of problems. And that's because you're not passionate about it. So literally it could be really, really easy to understand what you need to do in life. Because if you don't get that feeling that moves you, then you should move on. Okay. So now we're going to talk about air. All right. Now air is perfect here. All right. Air is perfect here because Mercury is an air planet. Of course, it goes right together. So these are your intellectuals. All right. When you have Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius here, these are your intellectuals. Your mind is on point a lot of times. You can, you absorb information really, really quickly. All right. And even if you don't understand the topic thoroughly, you can still communicate it in a perfect way. You can still communicate it in a way where most people can understand. And a lot of times they'll take in bits and pieces of that information and evolve it to something that you didn't even think it was possible to take it to. All right. So, now again, as far as how you learn, a lot of times you learn from, this is the people that learn from reading, from, a lot of these are readers. Okay. You're better off at reading. Now you can also hear people speak on this stuff too. So, but still, because the mind is so laser focused, pretty much, the learning process is just, anywhere for the air on Mercury people. All right. Because again, mind is very, very on point. It's very sharp. All right. Now, just because you have a weak Mercury people, you got to remember you have weaknesses somewhere in the chart. So I don't want to make you feel bad if you have like, you're like, oh dang, I got a messed up Mercury. Most likely you're excelling in the emotions somewhere. Okay, everything always has to balance itself out, or wherever you're excelling at, you got to look at your whole chart. You have your weaknesses and you have your strengths. Okay, so but again, if you have air on the Mercury, most of the time, because I will say that you have to look at where the Mercury's at in the houses, and also who's opposing it, what planet is opposing it, what house is opposing that, because you can have a nice Mercury. You could have Mercury in Aquarius. Oh well, you can have Mercury in you can have Mercury in Gemini, right? And then it's opposing Saturn, and that's going to cause a lot of issues for you mentally. Okay, so you're going to have a whole lot of hidden potential that's going to be hard to get to as far as mentally. You might have a hard time learning in school and stuff like that. But when you're in that special mode, when you finally find yourself, that's when you realize, that's when you become the genius. It's going to be hard for you to get to. That's what I'm saying. If it's like opposing Saturn or something like that, or opposing another negative planet that's negative towards Mercury. All right. So, again, these are the intellectuals. These are, people that are very, very sharp with the intellect, very good at analyzing things, very good at solving problems. Now, when it comes to learning, a lot of time learning is the best when they're around people. Like again, Gemini, if it's around multitudes of people, these people excel in school. Same thing with Aquarius. Even though they need time to be distant and stuff like that. But still, the group, the community, when they're learning for and with the community, they excel. They become the genius. Aquarius is known as the genius. As far as Libra, of course, you guys should know, one-on-one, but it's still involving people. All right, it's still involving somebody else, because that's what the air element is about. It's about connecting things. Okay. Now the last element is fire. All right. So these are Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. Okay. Now again, this is another powerful placement, because this adds that fire element. Fire and air is really, really compatible. All right. Even though sometimes it can be over compulsive. Like, let's just say you have Aries on your Mercury. Sometimes you have to watch yourself. You might be too out there. You might be too powerful with your speech, and you might hurt a lot of people's feelings. You might be, you don't really think about what you say before you say it. But then again, you can get a lot of followers with this kind of energy. All right. Yes, you're going to piss some people off. So it's like that 50, it's like that black or white thing. Like, you're either pissing a lot of people off or you're making a lot of people love you with this energy. All right. With the Leo energy, it just makes it seem like you say everything in the right way, because you know how to put your fire energy to it. You know how to heat things up when you're speaking, and you could be totally lying. You could be totally not knowing anything that you're talking about, and everybody is listening. Everybody is vibing with you, because you just make it seem like everything is, exactly what you say it is. All right, Sagittarius, again, these are your witty people. These are your, you make everything fun, when you speak, and when you learn, and when you're around people, when you're showing people your mind. Everything is adventurous. Everything is, about comedy. Even if you're not like a person who likes to tell jokes or something, you just have that fun vibe. Again, so this is why the fire signs really, really excel here on Mercury. It puts your learning, like, when it comes to learning, you need to really become what you're learning. You need to go on an adventure. If you're learning about, France or something, you need to go to France. You need to experience it. You need to experience the people. You need to move at a faster pace. All right. So again, this is why I said water and fire people don't really do too good in school, because of different reasons, obviously. But fire people, on the other hand, is that they move faster than most people. All right. They move faster. They got to, as far as their mind here, we're talking about Mercury here. Their mind is all the way on the next level. All right. So they have to, they have to challenge. They need a challenge. You need something that's really, really hard for you to understand, and it'll make you excited. Because again, if you're not passionate about the topic, if it seems boring to you, you're not going to put your full potential in. Again, you need to be something, just like I said about the water on the Mercury. You need to be passionate about the topic. Do you really want to learn? Are you wasting your time? Because if you feel like you're wasting your time, you might as well not do it at all. Okay, but it's really, really beneficial. Like I said, the best signs here, the best elements here are air and fire. Okay, air and fire. This will let you know, again, analyze how you take in information, and then start implementing that, so you can turn into a learning machine, whether you have earth, water, air, or fire here. That's what it's all about. So you can become what you learn, and not so it just goes in one ear and out the other. Because that's what a lot of this information does, because we're only trying to learn in one specific way. All right. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit about what Mercury does in astrology and your chart. All right. So again, but it gets way, way deeper than that. Like I said, you got to know the degree of the sign, that it's in, the degree of the house that it's in, what's conjuncting, what's opposing it, what's the ruler of the house that it's in the first place. You see, and then you can get an accurate picture of exactly how your mind works and what you need to do to take yourself to the next level. Because For all of you that are chasing success, that are trying to progress in who you are, Mercury is going to be a very, very important planet for you to understand. This could change your life by understanding your Mercury sign. All right. And also you can understand how people feel and why you get the reaction that you get when you express yourself. Because a lot of times we don't get the reactions that we desire, right? That means you're not understanding how you're expressing yourself. Again, knowledge of self. Okay. So like I said before, if you want a real reading, a real professional reading, somebody who knows what they're talking about, that can really help you progress in life, contact me at occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email is in the description of this video. Everybody, please like this video, share the video on your social media, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get the notifications. Okay. Like I said, any tarot readings, readings on how to properly detox, hypnosis, how to make money from home, and also just the mentorships and the consultations, one-on-one consultations with me. Again, all at the email and in the description of this video. Okay, guys. So I believe that was it for today. So again, you know, take this information, study yourself, study your chart, get help, get a mentor, teach others this stuff so you can learn. Sometimes they say the best way for you to learn is to actually teach the information yourself. So again, continue to grow, continue to progress, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.